Hello and welcome to Arrivals of Ixalan and Ixalan draft here. Okay, so we open the rarest Arch of Oraxa. I think it's a fine card. I mean, late game it can take over the game, but you need to get to the late game, and from what I've seen, I think that this format is pretty fast. Also have this Needletooth Raptor, it's a 2/2, and when it's dealt damage, you can deal 5. That seems like a nice kind of build around. I'm looking at this Bombard though. I think that Needletooth Raptor can be better than Bombard, but you need to build around it. And Bombard, you just cast it and it's great. So I'm going to take it over the Needletooth Raptor. This is my first draft in this format, so I could be wrong, but it's hard to go wrong with the instant speed removal spell. And I think this card is very good. Alright, so the rare is taken and doesn't give us too much information. So I've heard good things about Buccaneer's Bravado. It is an instant speed trick that gives a pirate +1/+1 and double strike. You can also play it on a non-pirate. Past that we have Reaver Ambush, which is very similar to Vanquish the Weak, which means it's good. And also Black-Red is probably a fine color combination. Otherwise I have Kitesail Corsair, good common, Waterknot, good removal spell. Sea Red is a card I'm not too in love with. So I'm going to switch color here. So the question is, do I want a black card or a blue card? Generally Black-Red is probably better than Blue-Red, or at least it was in Ixalan. You have some sick uncommons in Lurching Chupacabra. So I'm going to take the Reaver Ambush and take another removal spell. You can't go wrong with removal spells, which are somewhat cheap. Alright, now here's Baffling End. That is a very good card. But we would have to change colors. So let's see if there's something else. I don't like Pitiless Plunder. Bombard I already like. It is getting a little awkward to have 3 removal spells, but what can you do? If I'm going to take a removal spell, I'm probably going to take Impale though, because these two are somewhat situational. They don't leave with large dinosaurs. So I think Impale is a better choice to spread out the removal spells. Now, Bombard's gonna kill most things anyway, so maybe it's wrong to take Impale here. Impale is also a sorcery. So I could take Bombard and stay a little bit more flexible. What cards can't Impale Bombard kill? It is large dinosaurs. Yeah, I'm gonna take Bombard here. I think that the fact that this is an instant and it's 1 mana cheaper and also is easier to cast gives the nod here. So I like Stampeding Horncrest. I think that card is good, but we would have to be in dinosaurs for it to be very good because it has to have haste. You can't play just a 5/5 for 4. We have Fathomfleet Border, which is probably exactly what I'm looking for. Mutant is good to be. At this point I have 3 removal spells, so I think it is time to take a creature here. And I think Fathomfleet Border is going to be great. I mean, Black-Red is the pirate color. So even though I'm not too worried about the life loss, it is nice to not have to pay life. Let's make this card a little bit larger than life. But the fact that it's a 3/3 for free that can gain all the pirate triggers is probably good enough. So let's take that. Oh no, Raging Regusar. That card is great. There's also Forerunner of Coalition, which would be very good in a pirate deck. So I think I'm gonna lean on that. I think Raging Regusar is great though, but I would have to abandon these 2 black cards. I also like Dusk Legion Seals, but it's probably not at its best in this deck. Okay, so the reason I'm going to take Forerunner of Coalition is I think it's a very good card in this deck. The fact that this gives reach, deals a lot of damage. Also you can find some sick pirate maybe. Raging Regusar is a better card, but not by that much. I would have to abandon 2 black cards, so I think we'll take that, and here's isn't much. I think this card is interesting but pretty expensive. I like Killcrew Stalker. This card I don't like too much. I think it's a little too expensive to use, but it could work well with removal spells. Cacophodon is just whatever. I mean, untapping something, who cares? But there are some nice green cards. I think I'm going to take Stone Quarry because it could help me splash some good removal spell or an interesting pirate of some kind. I don't know. I think I'm not giving up much here. So there's this card, which is fine, but not impressive. Another hardy veteran. Looks like it could have been a red-green deck. I'm gonna take this card. I think if 3 for 5 is fine. It has evasion, which could be important with all these removal spells. I can only concentrate on killing my opponent's large flying things, and then this could take it home. And if you get the City's Blessing, it's good. Alright, yeah, red-green dinosaurs. Could be a thing here. I mean, I'm not gonna take a red or green card here because there are none in the pack, so I might as well. I mean, there is this card, but that's not very good. Of all these cards, I think this has the most potential. If I were to abandon, black, this card could be great in a dinosaur deck. So it's probably too late now, but this card is very good. This card is again on theme as a pirate aggressive card. I think it's better than Dusk Charger, so we'll see here. This is a little too aggressive for me. It's not my kind of card. This is also not my kind of card. Traveler's Amulet could help us to splash white. We then have Stone Quarry and Traveler's Amulet, and then we can maybe play a Plaint, so we could play some sick white card we will get. Not exactly what it would be, but here I'm gonna take this just because it's a black card. And Shatter. Oh, actually I should take this because I'm never gonna play Shatter. It's horrible card. You're never gonna play it, so I might as well take the green card just in case. Okay, so we have a lot of free drops, that's for sure. Probably gonna be red-black, but we could also be red-green. Maybe I should have moved in when I saw that multicolor dinosaur, but I also think that this card is very good. It searches up the best pirate in your deck at the moment and can maybe deal 2 or 3 damage, so that's a lot of value for only 3 mana. So we would like some 2-drops that are good. We haven't seen any really good 2-drops in black or red. We have seen some good 2-drops in green, but we chose not to be green. So let's see what we open here. As I said, we have a possibility to splash with the Traveler's Amulet. Maybe pick up another one, maybe pick up Involving Wilds. And we have a Stone Quarry in case the bomb would pick up his white. But yeah, it's a little weird draft for the moment. It could also be black-green splashing red, but it is a possibility. But these cards, it's not great in green-black, I can't imagine. They're more looking like aggressive cards to me. Although, they're not terrible blockers. I mean, if you take 2, but then if they can't attack, kind of makes up for the fact that you lost 2 life. It's a possibility. Alright, speaking of cards you may want to splash. We have a Profane Procession. I think this card is a bomb. It is kind of clunky, but it is a pretty spicy card. What else is in the pack here? There is a Niltooth Raptor again. Which again I like, but not too worried about it. Frill Death Spitter is fine. I mean, there's a bunch of fine cards. I think this card could be sweet. You use early removal supposed to clean out your opponent's creatures, and you just cast this and win. And we have a Traveler's Amulet and a Storm Quarry to splash for it. So it is also possible we can wield this Forsaken Sanctuary. Then we will have even easier way to cast it. Recovery is sweet, value card, but I'm going to take this Profane Procession now. And see what happens. This card I'm not so sold off. I think this is more a constructed card. But yeah. I have another one of those Harpies. I'm not too excited about that. A 1-drop again, 2-drop. But the problem with these 2-drops is that they are not really they don't really work well with our removal spells because they are aggressive. Could take Buccaneer's Bravado, that is a very spicy card. Alternative is to take Luminous Bond and maybe go into black-white. I mean, and then maybe we can splash these Bombards. I'm not going to play green, it looks like. So I could just take Luminous Bond and have a very solid black-white deck, maybe splashing Bombard. I just don't think that, I mean, Buccaneer's Bravado is fine, but we're looking more like a value deck right now, so I'm taking a bit of a turn here. Ooh, I like this card. It's a vampire 1-drop that gains flying in the late game. There is also a Impale and an Oathsworn Vampire and another Luminous Bond. But it is getting... I wanted some early drops, and this card I think is very good as a vampire. Triggers all the vampire synergy we may get, and it gets flying in the late game. I think at this point we have enough removal spells, so I'm gonna take a solid creature over the other. Don't have any ways to gain life yet, so I'll take that. And I think this card is fine, but there's also Moment of Crave. I did just say I had enough removal spells. It's not technically true, but I have enough removals with a cost 3 or more, so I'm going to take a removals with a cost 2 mana to cast. It also keeps our options open. So I like the way this is going. Ooh, this card is great, right? Flying Lifelink for 3, and if you have a vampire, if it doesn't have a vampire, it costs 4. So infinite Luminous Bonds here and Moment of Cravings, but I think this card is... We have so many removal spells right now that I'd rather have a good solid evasive creature. So it looks like black-white is open, and red is not particularly open. Alright, so there is infinite removal spells. So here I can take an Impale finally. I mean, again, I'm not in love with Marceline Harpy, and it looks like... I think that Sun Sentinel is mediocre. So much worse than Bishop Soldier, so... Yeah, this is looking kind of cool. We may splash this Bombard, and we may not. We have good solid removal spells now, but... This card... This has been a weird draft. It's my first draft. It's very possible there is on other people's first draft also, because if you have to draft a pre-release, you have to do it unofficially because you don't think you're allowed to draft a pre-release anymore. Although, who's gonna do something if you do? Don't think this card is good enough. So yeah, I'll see. It's possible we don't splash the red. But we'll see. This card has gotten a lot worse now. It's not a pirate right now. Because we're searching up this is just not very exciting, right? Okay, so here I can take a Dusk League on Zealot. There was Infinite Buccaneer's Bravado, but who cares at this point? I like also Moment of Triumph, but I think I want a creature at this point. I only have 6 creatures and 8 spells, so at this point having a vampire that is a 2-drop is just exactly what you want. Also, this card can block your opponent's X1s, which means you don't have to spend removal spells. The Raptor Companions just gets embarrassed by this card. So it means that you can save your removal spells for their more relevant creatures. Yeah, I think this card is a bomb. It is very slow, but if you can back it up, it should be good. Alright, here we can take a Sun Sentinel or Forsaken Sanctuary. Forsaken Sanctuary is nice. It's a nice mana fixer. Cleansing Ray is fine too, but Sun Sentinel still think is mediocre, so whatever. And here is a Recover as a 2-for-1 card. We have now officially moved off of red. And the last pack is pretty good for vampires, as you all may know. So we have Ixalan as our last pack. There's not going to be any more rivals of Ixalan this time around. I don't like this card. This card, I don't know why it's still in the pack. I think it's just insanely good. Take this card if I play against a super aggressive deck. Oh, this card came back. That's interesting. I'll take it. I mean, I like it much more than the Vigilance creature because if you have some random way to gain life, this card can be very good. Take the black card, which is very bad. Alright. It was really nice to wheel that card. And a Legion Conquistor, which is actually in the last pack too, but I'm gonna put it here for now. So let's see here. Looking for Vona, Butcher of Magon. Mainly. Well, Legion's Landing would be good too. And Sanctum Seeker. Settle the Wreckage. Okay. That seems like a fine card in this deck. We can probably use it in a good way. Also Anointed Deacon, but yeah, I'm gonna take Settle the Wreckage. That card just wrecks. And yeah. And there's a Bishop Soldier and a Skymarsh Bloodlet. Now normally I think Skymarsh Bloodlet is better than Bishop Soldier, but it's not super wide margin. And look at my curve. It's so many free drops. I'm gonna take Bishop Soldier over the Skymarsh Bloodlet. They both work with this card. I guess this works a little better because it's hard to have 5 mana. You want to cast this on turn 3. So taking Bishop Soldier. And this is not too impressive. Don't like Revel in Riches. Don't like Bellowing Eagles or too much Lurking Chupacabra. It's not very good without Explore. But I guess this card is okay. Not impressed, but there's nothing even good to splash, so I could play that card, but not impressed. And let's see here. It's been a little bit of a rough draft, but we have almost an entire pack. I wouldn't mind getting another Legion Conquistador, then maybe we could cut some of these 3-drop vampires. And we'll see. We're definitely not short on removal, that's for sure. Alright, we have a Territorial Hammer Skull or a Shining Aerosaur. So, the Territorial Hammer Skull is a better card than the Shining Aerosaur, but we have so many free drops and so many removal spells, so it's possible I may not even need a Territorial Hammer Skull. It's hard. Yeah, you may think I'm insane, but actually I'm gonna take Shining Aerosaur or Territorial Hammerskull. I understand that Territorial Hammerskull is a better card. We have so many removal spells that I think having a big flyer is just gonna be better. Territorial Hammerskull wants you to be aggressive, and this doesn't look like a super aggressive deck. So, yeah, that was weird. Alright, so here we can finally take our Legion Conquistador. Hopefully we can get a third one. The alternative is Direfleet Hoarder, but it's a mediocre card. Skittering Heartstopper is fine, but I like the Legion Conquistadors, and right now I have 23 playables. I think I'm gonna cut this card if I have the option, which I probably will. Because right now the best it can search up is a Fathomfleet Border, and that's not good enough. So this draft took a 180 turn with this card. Let's see if it's as good as I hope it is. Alright, so I don't want Bellowing Eagrosaur, some great blue cards here. The rest is a fine card. Looming Altisaurus, not great, but I think the card I'm most likely to play here is the Looming Altisaur. Can be good against big dinosaurs. Not gonna play this Forerunner. Holds the fort while you try to sit behind this card. Alright, 2 more picks before we get our original pack back. Let's see if the Duskborn Sky Marcher is still in the pack. Which it's not even super good in our deck, but you know. Let's see. This is a Mardu control deck. This is definitely a control deck. That's why I took the flyer over the Territorial Hammerskull. Okay, so we have Fathomfleet Cutthroat, a marginal card, Dusk Legion Dredger, which I've always been a kind of a fan of, and not sure which one to take. I think equipments have gotten a little bit better with the inclusion of Luminous Bonds, because I mean you can crew them without tapping a creature that was gonna get involved. I think I like this one because it has some synergy with these cards. Okay, I'm gonna take Leading Conquistador number 3 over a Direfleet Horde. I really love having 3 Leading Conquistador. And yeah, the Anointed Deacon wield, great. So now we can cut some cards. Card's not good enough. Could cut the Bombards. See, here we have. Let's finish the draft before we do that. We could also cut the Fathomfleet borders. Alright. I like removal spells now. Okay, so let's count the number of removal spells if we don't play these Bombards. We have Impale, that's 1. Reaver Ambush, that's 2. Moment of Craving, that's 3, although it's situational. We have Luminous Bond, that's 4, and Settle 5. That's enough, but I think they're going to be better than one Fathomfleet border at least. I think I like having one Fathomfleet border, that's fine. And see here, we have 25 cards. So I have to cut 2 cards. I guess I cut another border. And I guess Looming Allosaurus, mediocre. Okay, so 17 lands with a Traveler's Amulet seems fine. Oh, that's a very nice picture, by the way. I'm thinking 1 mountain that gives me 3 red sources between Storm Quarry, Traveler's Amulet, and a mountain. Could also play 2 because I have Forsaken Sanctuary, that helps a little bit. Let's look at our colors here. So we have 1 double white card. And Storm Quarry is a white. So I would cut the plains because I have a lot of white sources. So 6 means I have 8 white sources, but I also have a 1-drop. I think this is fine. 2 mountains is a bit much, but it's nice to cast these cards. Alright, so a little bit of a Mardu control deck for our first Ixalan draft. I will see you in round number 1. Alright, like playing first, we have some card advantage engines in our deck, namely Leading Conquistador and we have also recovered. Sadly, I have to mulligan this, even though I had a 1-drop, 1 swamp, and I would have kept it for sure because of these 2 cards. But this card is, by the way, not insane in our deck. We only have a Bishop Soldier to gain life, but I think that's still enough because it is a vampire, so it gets pumped by Anointed Deacon. Alright, we do both of our mountains, but we have a Traveler's Amulet to get a swamp, so at this point, keep. Do I want to keep that? Actually, no, because I'm a little bit flooded here, and Traveler's Amulet is going to give me the swamp anyway. I only have 1 double white spell in my deck. Green, alright. That was probably the worst draw in the deck because we have another Conquistador in our deck. So hopefully we don't draw our last one. We basically just mulligan our draws. That's okay. 2-1 Menace. Alright, so let's get a swamp here. Alright, so there's a removal spell. Let's get our last Conquistador. And 1 Rivals and 2 Ixalan Conquistador. I'm taking 2 here. Let's see. Okay, that's very likely going to be a 4 next time. But maybe it's not. Kind of tempted to cast this because if I draw a land, I'm gonna just run away with the game. I don't think the game's gonna come down to life toss. I mean, I could attack because this is very likely to be a 3/3. But if I don't attack and my opponent doesn't have a dinosaur, then I can get a nice block in. So I'm gonna go Fame Procession, hope to draw a land, and then start using that. And hopefully that's good enough. I'm not gonna attack. I could attack, but I don't think I'm super interested in dealing my opponent damage. And maybe it doesn't have a dinosaur. I think this is my best way to win the game. This flips if it has 3 or more cards exiled. Then you can't use it anymore, but you have a land that creates creatures basically. Alright, there is a dinosaur. So if I don't draw a land, I'm probably going to bombard that. Okay, so that's cost 3 mana. I'm just going to pass the turn and see if my opponent has another dinosaur. Can cast bombard in my opponent's attack step. Yes, it's a little bit risky, but I'm behind here and I really don't want my opponent to. Maybe my opponent doesn't play a dinosaur pre-combat. Okay. This triggers on attack, so I can wait. Now let's bombard. Because if he attacks, he gets a trigger, and that's not good. I mean, you can kill it in response to this trigger, but then my opponent would get to deal 1 damage. Don't like that. Aggressive Urge. Alright, so I can still block that, but yeah, it was unfortunate. That was one of the risks I took. So my opponent can actually use this trigger together with this to deal 1 damage. And I can't block. I think my opponent should do that. Attack, deal 1 to this, sacrifice this, and deal 1. Instead, he chooses not to attack, which gives me a little bit of breathing room. I'm probably still dead, but I think my opponent should have done that. He deals 10, so I'm at 3. Alright, so we can cast these 2 cards, but this card just dies to this trigger or this, so we're dead. If the Legion Conquistador had been a land instead, it could have been in good shape. Alright. Don't see anything I really want to side, but I could put in this card, I guess. Let's see. Over something. Guess it's better than Fathom Fleet Cutthroat, actually. They're both 4 drops, but both mediocre, but this card blocks the 4/4 and blocks the 2/1 menace together with another creature without getting destroyed by a combat trick. So I like that change. Alright, let's play first. We got all our colors. This card is a little awkward, but also this card. I'm gonna keep this, but I'm not in love with the card, with the hand, but the fact that we have all our colors is pretty nice too. Alright, so that's a good draw, I think. Unless we draw another one immediately, like last game. But we can search up all of them because we're not on the draw. If we're on the draw, we'd have to discard. So that's good. Okay, so we cast Rampant Growth, revealing 4/2. Fine. 4/2 is kind of getting embarrassed by my Legion Conquistador. So we have that going for us. Okay, a little late, but still better than drawing a Legion Conquistador, I guess. And see if we can get the City's Blessing this game. And if we draw planes, we can cast double card. Else we're gonna have to choose 1 card. This card I'm not scared about. I'm just gonna block it. Alright, I think that's a good target for Luminous Bond. Okay, we even can cast a Stone Cord. That card just dominates this card. So yeah, it's possible he has larger dinosaurs than that, but I just can't take 5 every turn, so I think I have to do that. So I can cast this card or Conquistador plus Sky Marcher Aspirant. Oh, that's pretty gross. My opponent can attack immediately. Oh well. So we right now have 7 permanent. So we're pretty far off the City's Blessing, but I think I'm casting Conquistador and Sky Marcher Aspirant. Maybe I can do a triple block. This puts us up to 9 permanents. We're pretty close, but doesn't matter too much for this. We could also take it, and then next turn we will have 10 permanents, so that makes the Mausoleum Harpy better. Actually, I'm gonna take 4, and I can double block next turn when I have the City's Blessing, which means that if my opponent has some card that blows me out, at least I get a bunch of triggers from this. So remember, this card counts as towards your City's Blessing, so we're up to 9 permanents right now. Hopefully we're only taking 4 this turn. Okay, we're taking a million. He already naturalized because he also saw that rare enchantment, so it makes sense. Well, we're not gonna have the City's Blessing next turn. We're gonna take 8 and need to draw something good here. That was a good sideboard card from my opponent. Alright, that helps. So recover doesn't do anything amazing right here, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bombard now because I don't want to get blown out by aggressive urge. Then I'm gonna cast my last Legion Conquistador, and if nothing else changes, we can do a bunch of blocks. And if my opponent has aggressive urge, we're in bad shape. We could triple block the 4/4, but then we take 4. So okay, so I'm gonna triple block here. There is Crash the Rampart, which blows me out, but that's just a common in one small set. And I've seen aggressive urge, so I'd rather play around aggressive urge, a card that I've seen, than cards I haven't seen. Okay, let's see what is this card. Alright, it's a card that makes you cast cards with flash. Ooh, Bellowing Aegisaur. Seems a better card than the Harpy here. Because if my opponent uses a combat trick, I get the counter on my Conquistador at least, so like that. What else does it do? They give flash and they can fight the creature. Okay, that's pretty good. But okay, I won't stop attacking. I like that. Right, so we could recover a Legion Conquistador, draw a card. We could then play it. We could also cast Mausoleum Harpy and Traveler's Amulet, even crack it. That would give us 10 permanents actually, because I would have 7 lands and 3 creatures. So that gives me some insulation. Yeah, I think I like that. Also, saving recover to get back something that's a little bit more relevant than a Legion Conquistador also seems nice. I could also get back the Aspirant, which is a flyer at this point. Taking a planes here, play it, and have the City's Blessing. If nothing happens in response, which it shouldn't, because I think my opponent could have attacked. So now that card is online too, which means whenever something dies, it gets bigger. And it is a way to win the game, I guess. So hoping that my opponent doesn't draw a big dinosaur. Then maybe we can hold the fort here, and because my opponent doesn't have anything right now, but it doesn't mean that A, he draws something good, or B, he has a 7 drop or 8 drop, because I think there are some good ones. But I'm not sure. Alright, another sideboard card. Got me good, but I can get that backward recover. So that was what I was saying about saving recover for something better. Okay, it's time to attack with everything. Okay, so if my opponent has aggressive urge, I want to block the Tilanalis Knight because that means that my Aegisaur doesn't die. So I think I'm gonna block like this and like this. Now if my opponent has aggressive urge, they lose their Tilanalis Knight, so it's a even trade on cards. And if they cast aggressive urge on Tilanalis Knight, nothing dies. So yeah, I think this is good. Okay, so the card was Dinosaur Stampede. I'm dead. I wasn't playing around that because that card is not good, so I don't feel too bad about that. I couldn't beat that card anyway. Alright, let's try again today. Round number 2. And since this is a pre-release, matches are coming up fast and furious, so we don't have to wait too long. We're on the draw here. And this hand seems fine. A bunch of removal spell and a 4-drop. We have all our colors because Stone Quarry gives us red, so yeah. Time to draw like a Legion Conquistador or something. Prying Blade. Okay, not too afraid by that card. Well, I should draw a Legion Conquistador. Now let's not draw any more Legion Conquistadors. Alright, it's a 6-drop, but at some point it might be good. Alright, I'm gonna kill that because that ramps me and my opponent. And oh, I did have another way to gain life. I forgot. I was talking about the vampire. I thought I only had Bishop Soul. I actually had another one. So I have 2 ways to gain life. And here I can search up everything. That's nice about casting that Moment of Craving, because I don't have to discard now. And I don't want to draw any more Legion Conquistadors. So. Alright, this card is scary. It's a 5/5 that makes you play an additional land and can't attack or block unless you have the City's Blessing. My opponent's up to 4 permanents, but can dump a bunch of lands. But he didn't have any more lands, so I guess that's a thing. It's gonna cost a Fathom Fleet card for no value. I want to get on the board, and I could also cost Legion Conquistador and Skymarsh Aspirant. Actually, is that better? It saves this card as a trick, and it adds 4 power rather than 3. Yeah, actually, I changed my mind. I changed my mind. Of course, I get blown out by that the uncommon that gives -2/-2 to everything, but my opponent doesn't have a second swamp. I think my opponent for sure would have played a land if they had it, because they want to get the City's Blessing as soon as possible. Alright, so they have Evolving Wilds. Skullduggery, okay, that works. But they can't attack, I don't think. They can equip, but that doesn't do anything. Alright, so Impale is a nice answer at some point to that big thing, but I'm not afraid by it because my opponent clearly doesn't have lands. And they only have 6 permanents, so something insanely strange would have to happen for them to start having the City's Blessing, especially since I have a bunch of removal spells to kill my opponent's creatures, so I'm not worried. And we're up to 7 now, up to 8. I think I'm gonna kill that so I can A, attack, and B, stop them from having the City's Blessing. So I'm gonna cast Bombard here. And I have another removal spell anyway, and also deals 7. It's half their life total. Okay, they're up to 8 permanents now. 9. I can impale that and kill them. Our draw was pretty great. This is how I want my deck to work. And at the very least, even if I don't do well in this draft, at least got my deck to do what I wanted it to do in one game. And that's something. Okay, so my opponent is black-green mid-range, presumably, with some large creatures. Don't really see anything good to bring in. I could bring in this card. I guess it blocks Colossal Dreadnought. So again, I'm going to take out this card and replace it by Looming Altusar to block Colossal Dreadnought. Alright, we're back, and yeah, keeping this mostly because I have settled the wreckage. I also have all my colors, but sand could have been better, but whatever. Alright, that's as I just discovered, a little bit better than I thought it was. It's nice to have something to do on turn 2. Alright, let's close the sound effect. And alright, that card again. Could kill that, but yeah, probably should. I just drew Moment of Craving, so even though I'm giving up some value here, I'm actually gonna attack first because I wouldn't mind my opponent blocking, because then I can get it back. At some point with this card. If they don't block, I'm just gonna kill it anyway. I don't think that card's gonna attack into my Settle the Wreckage anytime soon. So just slowing them down seems nice. This card I think is very good. And I guess I wish I had another one, but I didn't prioritize it high. Maybe I should have. Alright, what is this? It's the horse. Yeah. Bishop's Soldier, huh? May cost. Okay. I'm just gonna cost Bishop's Soldier here because at some point I may get a nice Settle the Wreckage in. I could double block here, but that seems unnecessary. Alright, I can't double block anymore anyway, so I'm taking 5. That's okay. Alright, so I think I'm gonna cast Bombard here to get some lifelink damage through. And I'm gonna dig up a Plains, I guess, just in case something weird happens to my land. So I wanna cast Settle the Wreckage. So that. So this, not only am I killing a creature, I'm also dealing 4 and gaining 2, so it has added value like that. And I couldn't cast the dinosaur anyway. 3/1 flyer, okay. Looming out is a little embarrassing here. It's casting a 3/4 and chilling. Hopefully my opponent can't kill that. Okay, so we're up to 8 permanents now. 7, sorry. But if they kill it, hopefully they can exile it because of this recover. Oh, it is destroy. I thought this was exile. Okay, never mind. Take 3. And okay, so it's important how I tap my mana now. I want to leave 1 red mana, so I should. I think it's a little too early to cast Settle the Wreckage. I think my opponent's gonna get Descend at some point, and then maybe I can get this card too. So I don't want to tap my mana here. I don't have any double white except Settle, so I think it's fine to tap like this. Alright, I drew a land anyway. Can't attack. Alright, now I wish I had kept up. But hang on. So if I block, I can actually recast that, but I can't because this can't get through. So Could block and hope to get that back, or I can take 8, go to 8, and my 8. And I'm taking it. So I can hold up Settle, or I can cast Shining Aerosaur. I think this holds back most of my opponent's creatures anyway, and if worse comes worse, I can Shump Block with my Old Sworn and maybe get it back some point. But I think chilling one more turn from Settle could do very well for me. Especially if they play a Dreadmaw here. So next turn, then I get a good Settle, I think. Oh, hello. So cast this. I can activate this instant speed too. So now my opponent is incentivized to attack with everything. I'm just gonna chill and see what happens. They could have the card that puts +2/+2 on their entire team. That would be bad for me. That's not exactly that card. This should be game unless my opponent has some incredibly good card. But they clearly don't have that card. That card costs 6. So the way you beat this card is by swarming your opponent, but then if they have settled the wreckage, things can get bad. So what is this? Each opponent sacrifices a creature if you have a City's Blessing. Okay, so I lose 2 creatures. Okay, that's a good card. Oh, there isn't much I can do about that. So I have to sacrifice these, yeah. This card could come back if I have this flipped, but this could be a Settle the Wreckage. Yeah. I'm even gonna be a little bit tricky here and see if he casts Skullduggery. That's... They have lethal, so yeah, that was gross. So if I draw a land, I can even cast Illuming Altar. So I did. Alright, so I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. There's no reason to do that now, though. This card is spicy. Not sure how good it is, but if you want to see this blessing, it's definitely better than if you don't. It's a do or die from invasion, but it's a little different. There's no reason not to kill that. I mean, I have 2 more things to do, and if you ever flip that card, it's probably game. Let's play around some random thing. I don't even know what I'm playing around with. And I'm not even gonna play it because I wanna keep this card open for some random flash creature. Basically, at this point, I'm so far ahead that there's no reason for me to risk anything. You can use this on your own creatures too if you really want to flip it, but yeah. Also, my opponent could have some random sweep. I don't know this format in its entirely. Because I have double of that card that makes you lose 1 life for every creature you control. That's very unlikely. Alright, let's see if we can finish this with a positive score. See, I'm tempted to keep this hand because of this Settle the Wreckage. If I miss some land drops, this is a typical card that can catch you back up. I have this card too that can help. I'm gonna keep this. This deck doesn't mulligan too well, I don't think. Because it can get some really clunky pools. Okay, that's just a 1-1 for 1 stay played, so not too worried. Of course, if I don't draw land, I'm still gonna lose to it, so it seems like a questionable play, unless they have another one. They could also have the Merfolk Lord. I mean, okay, they're going all in. Well, I have a Luminous Bond, which I could cast, or I could hold out for Settle the Wreckage. I'm just gonna take too much damage, I think, so I'm gonna cast that card. I think Settled Wreck is going to be good at some point. Alright, they're all about those kind of cards. I'll take one, I could take more if they have some. They look like a very aggressive Merfolk deck. Two free flyer and a sense, it becomes a 3/4. Alright. Could bluff a combat trick, but no, I'm too scared. Also, this gives me a little bit more room to play against my opponent's combat tricks. If he attacks, and now I have 2 blockers. Wow, okay. Well, I'm gonna play around another Riverhell's Boons. I might as well attack block with both. I don't think there's anything that gives +4/+4. So, do your worst. Aggressive Urge, okay. Wouldn't have mattered, but I guess my opponent got to upgrade a little bit. Would like to draw land at some point, not gonna lie. There is 15 lands left and I have 26 cards. So. Now the nice thing about blocking is that I reduce my opponent's permanent count with 1, which could be important. Uh-oh. Trample. Okay, so we can either impale that or we can hold out for Settle the Wreckage. So how smart is my opponent? So if I impale that and attack, I go to 10. So that's fine. I think I'm gonna actually impale and chill with Settle for a little while because... Okay, so here's my reasoning. If I pass the turn and my opponent plays around Settle, I'm getting completely destroyed. Whereas this way, I can I get a little bit more time. Let's see if my opponent blocks. Okay, so I can either cast Mausoleum Harpy, which right now I have 8 permanents, so I will be permanent number 9, which threatens to block this, or I can hold up Settle. Again, I think it's better to develop my board, and I can cast Settle next turn maybe. Okay, so another reason is that it's pretty obvious that I have something, because I have a Legion Conquistador that I haven't played, that my opponent knows is in my hand. So alright, so I'm gonna get the City's Blessing here. And I'm gonna attack with everything. I'm not gonna play around a counter spell here. Especially since my opponent is incentivized not to block because that grows my thing. Alright, not playing around the counter spell. Okay, so full price Silvergill Adept, fair enough. Alright, they're playing or they just want to block. Well, I'm gonna do it anyway, I think. It's too greedy to wait. Especially if I draw red source, I'm in good shape. I did not cast. So if I attack with those two, they eat one, block one, but then I get 2 counters. That's probably worth it, right? Yeah, that's worth it. One counter is enough. All right. And go. Alright, I had enough, and they were dead if I attacked with both. So, a super aggressive Merfolk deck that also has the big dinosaur. I'm not too scared about the big dinosaur because I have Impale for that, as well as Luminous Bombs. This matchup feels like it's good. I want discard just to block his random stuff. The only problem with discard is it doesn't block his 2-1, but it does block a lot of other stuff. So I think that could be a good thing. I think it's better than Fathomfleet Cutthroat, that's just a random card. This card blocks early, and I have some ways to win the game in the late game. Like if he goes to 1-1 and then pumps it up, yeah, I think I want that card. It's a mediocre card, but I think it's good in just this particular matchup. I think I recognize this hand. It's like the same hand. Still think it's fine. I mean, a third land gives me Legion Conquistador, and a swamp gives me the Moment of Craving. So, yeah, the Modo Shuffler is playing with our hearts here. But they didn't have a 1-drop, or they're waiting. Alright, so we're in business on lands. We're probably gonna... So the thing is, I'm gonna wait for my opponent to play the 1-1. If they have River Hell's Boon, I could be in trouble, but I'm gonna take it if they attack. Okay, I hope they don't have River Hell's Boon. I lose the game to that, but I would. They always have it. But it's just a common in the smallest set. So I took a risk here, but it didn't pay off. But I explained why I did it. So I have settled the wreckage, so hopefully that can be good. Because I wanted them to spend a Jade Bearer on my for no value, quote unquote. that card again. So if I hold open, settle the wreckage here, I get wrecked by my opponent playing around it. So, but I think it's worth it to fog. My cards doesn't do anything here, so I think I'm just gonna have to hold out. Alright, they're not playing around it, or they boarded in a counter spell. Four mana. What counter spell costs 4 mana? Were they like moment of? Huh. Or are they bouncing their own creature? Crashing Tide, they bounce their own creature. Okay, I'm fine with that. They bounced their. What do they bounce? They bounce their Spyrinder. So they bounce their big flyer. Fair enough. I'm fine with this. Now I'm just gonna cast this and hope to take over the game. 3-4 against 3-4 because it's gonna be a 3-4 very soon. Yeah. My opponent's up to 8 permanents. Okay, that's a good card. So 3, 5, 8. Yeah, I should just cast this now. And don't worry about it. And I'm even gonna attack with both here. Because I want my opponent to have less permanents in play. Or they can take damage, either one is fine by me. Fine. And no. I think we're in fine shape. But anything can happen. Full price Silver Guild, that's fine. It's value though. Here I'm not gonna trade because of the Bellowing Aegisaur. So I'm just gonna slam for free and cast Bellowing Aegisaur. I think that's better. I can play a bunch of stuff next turn. And then my opponent cannot block my Bellowing Aegisaur, almost assuredly. Alright, that's a clock, but it's slow. It is nice with this card, I guess. But it is a 4-turn clock right now. Could be 3 if my opponent has something. Ooh, that's a good card. Alright, we could bombard Bellowing Aegisaur, but that could lead to some bad things happening. If my opponent decides to block it. Right, so bombard that. Cast Conquistador. No. And attack with everything. Or no, there's no point in attacking. No, that trades off. I think my opponent still can't block my Bellowing Aegisaur, so I think getting cards off the board is probably good. Like what if my opponent has River's Rebuke or something? Okay, so they want no. Right, I'll cast this first. So if my opponent blocks my Bellowing Aegisaur, I get to get more counters. Might as well play this. And there are some flash creatures in the format, but I guess I can only attack with those. So if I have Snapping Sail back, it's not a disaster. I get a counter on all my creatures. Yeah, fine. Playing a little bit conservative here because my opponent has 4 cards in hand. Okay, Plummet, fair enough. Jumping Bellowing Aegisaur is not a very nice feeling though. I wonder if they have big They have double river and spoon. Okay, so that's... If we go to game 3, I'm definitely not going to make the play I did this game. Wonder if they have the Gasta in hand. That's a good sideboard card against me. But at this point, it's a little too late. I'm just going to attack with everything. I'm not even going to bother to give them a card. They have Snapping Sailback. They still have to jump block. Okay. Well, we ended up 2-1. This deck felt like a 2-1 deck. Didn't really feel like a 3-0 deck. But I'll be excited to play this format. It looks interesting. And yeah, doesn't look like too much have changed. There's still a lot of aggression going on, so we'll see. Thank you for watching. If you like my content, you can subscribe. There will be more coming. Probably some standard next, but who knows? It could also be more drafts.